Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses, gang, and I'm gonna name it 7 things my dad taught me, but it's gonna be way more than 7 things. So my dad's going through something a little bit more than the average person, and I thought of a really funny joke. It's funny to me, but I kind of have a dark personality, so I'm not gonna give you that, Dad. I'm gonna just spare you because I don't think you're gonna. You might actually, because our personalities, as far as sense of humor, align. But I'm not gonna tell you guys any of his business or anything like that. I'm not gonna be messy. I do want to apologize because I made a song like 10 plus years ago. I'm not even gonna. It is what it is. So the first thing that my dad taught me, man, and this is not in any particular order. I'm gonna give you, in my opinion, what's the most important things, maybe top 3, something like that. But the first thing that my dad taught me, indirectly, very directly, just living his life. You know, a lot of these things he never actually sat down and taught me verbally, but physically showed me the importance of these things. The first thing I would have to say is networking. Your network is your net worth, right? We all know that cliche. Now, my father has been a teacher, I think, since I'm 33 for like 37 years. No, I'm just playing, but he's been a teacher for as long as I can remember. And we all know that teachers are underpaid and overworked. But on the flip side, you know, if my dad wasn't introducing me to teachers that were exactly at his level, or people that had something else going on, they would be entrepreneurs, some celebrities, people that had a lot going for themselves. The only people that were not on my dad's level or above my father's level were family that he was trying to help out. So that taught me a lot. I never really understood how, I mean, in retrospect, yeah, my dad has an amazing personality. But I'm like, bro, how are you in a house full of millionaires, in a house full of people who have 10 times more going on than you? You know, and this is no shot, but this is in the early to the mid 90s, early 2000s. You know what I mean? So I understood that is something that should be done. Okay. Now, nextly, because I don't want to make this video too long, image. My dad is probably top 5, one of the cleanest men that I've ever seen in my life. I never smelled him musty. I never seen him get too out of control as far as hygiene at all. You know, as far as facial hair, my dad's teeth has always been white. Eyebrow, everything was always on point, right? To walk in the closet, of course, this is my father, to walk in the closet and see 27,000 suits and they're all aligned by color. Because I'm not the cleanest person in the world at all. But if I were to have $15,000 worth of suits, I probably wouldn't organize them by color because that's just not how I roll. But to see a whole $7,000 worth of cologne, the Dolce & Gabbana, and the Issy, and all the different fragrances aligned, I was just like, bro. And to be honest, that was a good thing for me to see because I thought that was normal. Whether it is or it's not, that's not even important right now. But image is very important. Now, with image comes, you know, being intoxicated. I don't think I've ever seen my my dad drunk. But if he was, I didn't know it. I don't know if he, I don't know what I've seen my dad hella high because my dad, the last time I checked, he has a special relationship with a specific type of plant. Kind of looks like spinach, but it's not. Now, I will say this. My dad, He's a real 70s baby. My dad smoked whatever plant that was. It looked like some green pencil shavings. I'm like, what is this? He was like, son, I don't like all the chemicals. Y'all just get too high. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to go get some kush. What is this, bro? I don't know how many. I think he said that was his third time, that he had indulged in that specific style of marijuana. And I was like, look, this is the real deal Holyfield. This is the purple, you know. And he hit it. He was like, whew. I was like, nah, you got it. He was like, nah, son, I only need to hit it twice. I was like, you don't want it? He was like, how long are you high when you smoke this? I was like, I don't know, like 6 hours, 8 hours. He was 6 hours. I don't know why you want to be high for that long. I'm like, what you is nothing else to, whatever, bro. You smoke it in LA. They call it stress. I'm not from LA, but hey, it is what it is. So image just not being a drunkard and not being a pothead in the street and not having your eyes red and yeah, man, nodding off. That's a part of your image, man. I mean, next, of course, we have the power of reputation, right? My dad protected his reputation, and I might say some things that you might be able to take it negative, but of course, as a smaller person, as a younger person mentally, I took it as a negative. Now, when I was younger, I had a lot of problems. I was cutting up. My dad is a teacher, as I stated before. And just because you don't have a congregation, that does not mean that you're not a preacher. Just because you don't have a classroom, that doesn't mean you're a teacher. Those skills just don't go away overnight. But at the end of the day, I went to a school that he taught at, right? And I was the Tasmanian Devil's twin. I was passing probably like 2 classes. I'm getting suspended. I got in a couple I was just not being a great representative of my last name. And he had a discussion with my mom and he pulled me out of it, which was the right thing to do. And I did not like that because I felt very comfortable. All my friends were there. It wasn't my home school. It was a substantially better school than Ridgeview. I'm not going to say what school, but Ridgeview, the school that was not a good school at all. Not at all. It wasn't. But I understood that my father was on a mission. And if I can't represent his presence properly, if I'm doing the total opposite of what he's doing for himself and what he does for other people's children, then I'm not bigger than the program. That's what I understood. My actions towards his reputation were not fruitful. So yes, I had to be removed out of that situation. But understanding that what you do is going to affect how you do in life is very important. Understanding that. I don't know if I worded that sentence correctly. Yes, I have been doing what I was doing because I'm an adult, and that happens like that. I think the next 3 lessons, I think, are the most important 3. Well, and then communication rules and nation keep yours cool that's definitely. So be real is what my dad taught me, right? There was a point in my life when I was in like 5th grade where I had just like a lot of 5th graders. How old am I? 10 years old. I was trying to find myself. I was lying a lot. You know what I mean? I was trying to be manipulative. I was trying to get my way and not have to pay the consequences in specific ways. And he told me, bro, just be real. Just say what's on your mind. Get it out. Control yourself while you do it. Be respectful. But just understand your environment. Understand the people you're talking to and understand that when you do certain things, you can't control the outcome all the time. But if it's necessary, it's necessary to say. The next thing, which I actually didn't really think about this, my dad had a conversation with me because I was messing up in school, right? And he said, son, the only reason that you should be mad at somebody is if they're not doing their job. I do my job as a father. Your mom does her job as a mother. You're not doing your job as a student. You're not getting good grades. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. Is why I'm upset with you, because this is your job. You're not doing your job. If I go to Wendy's right now and they mess up my order, I'm gonna be irritated, because they had a responsibility and they didn't handle that responsibility, and you're not handling your responsibility, right? That goes with being real. Your authentic job is to be authentic and do your job, right? Okay, so next, I think this is the most spiritual of all these, is always pay your debts. I don't remember the actual conversation, but I think that goes into not just financial, energetically, spiritual, socially. If somebody does something to you, or you do something to somebody, make it right. I'm going to make a video on what is an authentic friend. An authentic friend is somebody who sacrifices without the expectation, but understanding that at some point, this thing is going to balance itself out. How perfect of a message is that, coming from somebody that is a Libra? My father's a Libra. But at the end of the day, always pay your debts, man. Because at some point, you're going to have to answer for that. And you might be saying, well, I know a little scheme, I know a little scam. I know I could pay this guy $600. Just pay it, bro. It feels better. It feels better. It feels good. And you don't have to cut corners and do all this weird stuff and get your credit affected. And I'm not just talking financially. If somebody does something for you, bro, it doesn't have to be immediate, and it doesn't have to be the exact same current. It doesn't have to be the exact same deed. But balance things out, man. Keep things balanced. If it's negative, neutralize it. If it's positive, make it more positive, right? Nextly, of course, this goes without saying, don't lie, because of lying is bad for your soul. Lying is just not good, bro. Lying is something that will make you sick. Lying is something that it's just not manly. It's just not manly. Why would you want to give somebody some information that is toxic? Why would you want to control somebody in a way that they don't have any say-so over, right? So just don't lie, right? I'm going to skip one. Live in your truth. This goes back to being real and not lying. There are actual consequences to not being real. There are actual consequences for not lying. For lying. Right? When you don't live in your truth, that affects your mental health. That affects your control center. That spins the gears in your mind, body, and soul that in a way that don't need to be spinned. Do you understand that not being who you're supposed to be is actually bad for you? It's not only bad for you, it's bad for your family. It's just not healthy to do. If you think you're a tiger, but you're trying to run like a cheetah, what's going to happen? You're going to hurt yourself, bro, because tigers are too heavy to run that fast. So if you're a tiger, you like dots, you don't like stripes, bro. Stripes are good. Embrace your stripes, bro. All right, so next, let me see. It's because I'm trying to keep it light. It is what it is. We'll just keep on going, man. Give back. Giving back is important. It's good for you energetically. It was one of the laws of the universe, Giving back, that's subjective. But at the end of the day, a lot of people think that you have to put emotion in what you do. But giving back is something that's going to help you subconsciously, because you know the difference between right and wrong. Your genetic code is going to give you an indication at some point that what you did is good. You might be, I don't want to go into that, but helping the people, understanding that education is very important, understanding that this is what's supposed to happen. understanding that you're not an island. You don't live under a rock. You might say to yourself, I want to give back. I want to do this for this person because of my karma or because God is watching or whatever. Whatever the circumstance may be, I'm not going to discourage you like a lot of people do. If you don't truly feel it, if it's not coming from a place of empathy, if it's not, no, nigga, if you want to give, whatever your intentions or your motivation is, number one, don't expect anything in return. And if you do that. But if you're not one of those type of people who want to give your last and you don't want to feel like, oh, my babies have to eat and we need some milk. I can't give this lady $1 because how am I going to, man, whatever you think the consequence may be, bro. Whatever you believe in, if you believe in Allah, Buddha, Yahweh, or nothing, it's just it's going to come back to you. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to make other people feel good. And that's the purpose. The thing about it is, the more that you give, the more responsibility, the more important the task that you do is in this world, the more you get paid. This is the reason that doctors get paid more than male people. Because they save lives. Yes, that stimulus check that Donald Trump gave in 2000, whatever year that was the mailman was impaired. He was important then, but he was not doing heart surgery though. People were not willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a $2,000 check. I don't know how much mailmen make, but the more you give, the better you live. We got all kind of t-shirts coming out my mouth. But at the end of the day, the next thing my dad taught me, man, was honor thy mother, right? It states in the Bible, honor thy father and thy mother. Father coming first for a reason. Shout out to the ladies, shout out to the mothers. But at the end of the day, bro, and I'm going to say two things about my mother. You might perceive them as negative, and I'm probably going to remake a video on the things that my mom taught me. Probably not, but shout out to my mom. My mom is a mom. She's a woman. So she couldn't give me certain types of information, and she couldn't help me in a lot of different ways, because that's not her job. So a lot of times she would send me to go live with my dad for like a week, 2 weeks, at one time 6 months when I was 17. And one of the last times when I was in middle school, she sent me to live with my dad. I didn't want to hug her. I didn't want to hug her at all. I was hurt. And it's not her fault. That's normal for what I had, experienced in my life at that time as a young man. And my dad said, bro, he didn't say bro, but my dad said, he said, this is your mom. You only are going to get one mom. She wants to hug you. She loves you. Hug her. And I felt this fireball in my chest that came from God and the devil combined. They were working together. And I gave her a hug. Did I enjoy it? I just wanted to get in the car and leave. But if you guys don't know, I don't want to make this too much about me. But my I'm not gonna call her that. I'm gonna call her my girl, my woman, because that's what she is. We got in a discussion, a heated discussion, a very heated, disrespectful discussion. And she was like, well, Aaron, you do all of this in front of my son. And you say all of this. And you do all of this. And you curse me out in front of my child. And I was like, well, when I do things that you don't like, you call my mom. You take pictures of me drinking, and which I forgive you for that. I'm going to bring you to another point. You report what I do to my mom. My mother is old. My mother is 152 years old, bro. Why are you calling my mom when she's asleep, texting her that her son is over here being a menace, torturing the whole west side of Los Angeles. Why are you doing this? And she was like, well, you're messing up my son's childhood. I was like, bro, but you're messing up the last however many years of my mom's life. You think your mom is more important? You think my mom's less important to me than your son? Yeah, but he's a kid. And I was like, yes, but this is my mother. You can make more children. I only have one mom. And as that statement left my mouth, I was like, ah! That's that. I heard my dad's voice in the back right here. I could feel it. You can make more kids, but I only have one mom. So as important as this is my family, as important as your child is to you, this is my mother. You made him with somebody you don't even agree with. But I don't have a choice. This is my mother. The instincts that you have towards your child is just as strong as the instincts, if not stronger, because I don't live how you live. Whatever I'm not going to go into that. Keep it positive. But I don't think I would be able to see that or feel that or understand or even word it like that, which is the most important thing. You know, God said, let there be light. The word is important. The power of life is in the word. But yeah, that's what my dad taught me. I got a couple more. Health as well. I always see my dad eating good. I always see my dad working out for the most part. Not to laugh at the uneducated. We were at, I can't remember, it was somebody's graduation. This man said the word tsunami. And I was just like, bro, you're a grown ass man. You just said tsunami. Now, internally, I'm laughing right now. But I would never laugh out loud at somebody being ignorant. Unless they really, unless I knew them and if it was appropriate. Pay your own way. I didn't like how my dad taught me that, but that was a very important lesson. There's a story behind that. When I was getting it's going to be real quick. I want to run through these because I'm getting kind of tired. I was getting my GED. My dad convinced me to walk across the stage. I didn't feel like I accomplished anything because I didn't. Because that test was like for fourth graders, and I'm way smarter than the fifth graders. Especially at 17, I was just in school 2 months ago. Whatever the case may be, he was like, Aaron, your mom has been waiting your whole life, your whole life, to see you walk across the stage in a cap and gown. And I'm like, bro, all right, man, whatever. And he was like, all right, you're going to pay for it, right? I'm like, why would you? I don't even want to do this. Why are you going to make me pay for the cap and gown that I don't even want to? I don't want this. This is not even important to me. He was like, it's yours, bro. It's for your mom. I was like, bro, you got some cold manipulation game. I don't want to pay this. It wasn't $50. It was like $100. It was probably like $75. But keep in mind, bro, I'm 17. I work at McDonald's. I'm making $5 and like 25 cents an hour. That's half a check. It's not half. I can't remember. I think I was making like $200 I was probably making like $420 something a month. $5.25. I was a minor, so I didn't have to pay taxes. I didn't want to do that, bro. 70. Do you know how much weed I could have bought with 75? That's a whole ounce. In Columbus, anyways, my dad he taught me that. I was hot, but then I understood later in life that, you know, paying your own way is necessary. Paying all your bills, paying for all this food I didn't even eat. I did eat it, but that wasn't even necessary, bro. I was a little kid. I probably ate like $30 of food a week, and I was spending like $200. I ate it all because I was like, you're not about to. It is what it is, though. But that was very important for me to understand. Nextly, communication rules the nation. Keep your cool. Now, I've seen my dad in a good amount of situations where he could have turned up, where the average baby mama that was missing child support for the last 3 months would have turned up. But my dad didn't do that. My dad handled things with poise. My dad handled things with gentleman. He handled things like a gentleman, and I took that with me. Now, do I act like that towards everybody? No, I don't. Because everybody doesn't deserve that. And because I'm not in the street a lot of times when I get in these confrontations. But what I am, I do handle. I don't tee up and I don't throw napkins and threaten to call H. I don't do that because that's lame. But I'll give you one situation. I was coming from probation when I was on probation in Waukegan with my grandmother. Now, my grandmother is deaf and my grandmother is very timid and passive. We went to a gas station in Waukegan. Waukegan? Yeah, Waukegan. Went to a Shell gas station and this lady overcharged her $2. I came in the gas station and I said, "Excuse me, miss, you overcharged her $2. She didn't pay for it. And why are you going to try to make my grandmother pay for that when you made the mistake on your end?" And this lady responded, "Well, it was an accident. It's only $2. And I was like, no, it was your accident. You need to not charge her, or you need to give me the equivalent of $2 of items in this store. Chips, cookies, a candy bar." And she was like, "But it was only $2. And I was like, and I said, "Well, if it's only $2, why don't you just just give it back? Don't charge her for that." And she kept looking and she was like, "I'm going to call the police." I was like, "Okay, well, you call the police and you let them know that you stole $2 from my grandmother." She refunded the money. There was a beautiful black woman with a baby in line. And I got back, pumped the gas, did whatever. And she stopped me and she said, "I really like how you handled that." She was really trying to steal that $2 and make you seem like it was okay. And I shrugged it off. I was just like, "Cool, I appreciate that." And she was like, "Thank you," because I think the average person would have turned up on her and did all of this and that. And then, of course, I was thinking, I mean, that's how I saw my father handle certain things. So, no, I wasn't going to tee up. I was going to take the little snicker and it was going to equal $2. I had 50 cents in my pocket to, balance everything out. But the fact that I didn't understand that that was not normal, especially for people that come from my community, I appreciated, seeing that from my father. Because, yes, I was mainly raised by an emotional, light-skinned, beautiful, and, everybody knows the more beautiful a woman is, the worse her behavior is in a lot of situations. Not all situations. But I didn't get that from my mom. I don't want to say at all, because it's not my mom. It's not like my mom's like a she's not overly belligerent in public at all. Actually, she's pretty classy. But I've seen her Osama bin Laden a lot of situations. I'll just put it like that. Shout out to my mom, man. You're a good person. At the end of my my direct deposit just hit. Okay. All right. Anyways, so communication rules the nation. Keep your cool, bro. It's cool to be cool. The last three things, man. The morning is to be praised. A lot of people have woken me up like I was in Sing Sing, like I was in Pelican Bay, banging on the stairs, turning on the lights, throwing water on me. Yeah, I've been through some weird situations when it comes to the morning. But my dad woke me up. Very synological situation. Sinology is the study of Chinese culture. The Chinese people believe that when you wake somebody up, you should do it peacefully because their soul is separated from their body. And when you wake somebody up, you should greet their soul and invite it back into their body. My dad never, even if we were running late, which I don't think we've ever done, he wouldn't, "Aaron, wake up, man," kicking the bed. Like, bro, no, that never happened. It was always very peaceful. At first, of course, coming from how I've, certain things I experienced, I thought it was strange. "Aaron, wake up, son." I'm just like, who is this? What is this? Especially like not living with my dad on and off. When you go to sleep, you wake up, you don't always know where you are when you first wake up. The lights were off. He would always wake me up very peacefully, be playing some smooth music, breakfast, not rushing, even if we were running late, not rushing and startling me and, oh my God, we gotta go, hurry up, we gotta go, why are you dragging your feet? Because that's toxic. Because if you wake up like that, you need to be in therapy. That's why. Because you're the problem. Because you start your mornings off like we're in Vietnam. That's not okay. You're scaring the children. Don't do that. It's not good for their mental health. Okay. Nextly, last two, man. I'm not gonna hold you for too much longer. I don't even like to make long videos like this. Forgiveness is important. I've never really been a forgiving person. I low-key am. But the last time I've been in jail, I understood that using my anger and using my resentment in therapy, this kind of helped me too. I told my dad probably the first conversation I had with my father when I was in a homeless shelter. I remember exactly where I was. I was on the stairs at the library in Joliet, Illinois. Shout out Joliet Public Library, downtown. I said, Dad, you know what? I apologize because you know why I don't talk to you? Because I use the anger and the resentment to help me set goals. I use it as fuel. But then I gave him an anecdotal, I'm gonna give it to you now because it's not gonna make sense. Where this guy, it was an old man, he went to the doctor and the doctor said his blood pressure was too high. He told him that he was an angry person and he tries to use the anger of all the people that betrayed him and his wife breaking up with him and his dog died and he got fired, and that's why he had all these millions of dollars, because he used his energy that was generated by anger to get all his money, right? And this old ass man, he's probably like 97 years old in this story, right? So he said, no, because if you keep being angry like this, you're gonna have a heart attack any day. Your blood pressure is like, we need to put you on meds. And he was like, all right, look, just learn forgiveness, meditate, read every day, sit outside in the sun, just be cool, man, relax, man, take a chill pill, Phil. And the man, he got to the doctor. He was like, damn, your blood pressure is cool. And he was like, but you still need to bring it down just a little bit because you're old as hell. You don't need to be. And he was like, all right, just a little bit. Boom. What happened? He came back to the doctor. As soon as he told him, dude, your blood pressure is beautiful to be 175. Keep on doing what you're doing. Guess what happened? 2 days later, that man died. Why? Because he was so used to being angry, right? He didn't know what else to do. And his body was literally surviving off of the energy of anger. And I told my dad that. I gave him that anecdote, which I'm pretty sure he's heard before. It's probably an African proverb. Shout out to the Africans. Shout out to Proverbs, the Bible. And I don't want to go out. I don't want to live like that. I don't want my motivation to be negativity because, yeah, I might have a couple M's in the business. It feels good waking up to money in the bank. Shout out to ASAP Rocky. But I don't want to live like that. And I expressed that to my father, and he was like, man, you're showing a lot of growth, bro. I like it. And I was like, yeah, we could be cool, bro. I don't hate you anymore. I had to go to jail to learn that, which, because I was surrounded by so much anger and hate and resentment and people cursing their BMs out on the phone. But you better give me, let me come and bring me my son. Or when I get out, I'm going to do this to you. I'm like, that's how you talk to women? That's why you're in jail. You need to be in here. I need to be out there. And I don't got a girlfriend. My BM won't even answer the phone. And you don't hear it on the phone mashing on this woman. Like, damn. She probably put money on his books, but nah, you're an animal. You need to be in this cage not with me, with them. Because I'm innocent, And then lastly, man, of course, I'm going to pre-apologize to my mother, man. But I will say this, man. Women are beautiful. Women are like the second best invention in the world, right? But you got to get the full story. I had a lot of anger and resentment towards my father because a lot of people, more than one person, told me things that weren't not necessarily true. And when you hear messages that are important, you have to understand your emotions are yours. They build a world that doesn't even belong to you. They separate you from reality. My favorite YouTuber, RIP, Simple the P said that logic does not exist in a world of emotions. And when you feel emotions, you create a world that only you can perceive. You might tell your little friend and that might be angry with you, but that's still only your world. Nobody can visit. They can visit, but they're not a resident of that world. I'm not saying that emotions aren't real. They're very real. That's why they're dangerous. But when you feel emotions, you have to understand that you're not thinking right. You're putting a filter on reality, and reality is real for a reality is real, and reality is not going to win. I mean, reality is not going to lose. Your emotions may make you feel like you're winning right now, but your emotions are temporary. Reality is forever. So when you hear something that makes you feel emotional, when you hear something that is important and it's emotionally fueled and it makes you feel something, you have to separate yourself from those emotions. You have to take that energy from those emotions, the raw energy, leave the emotions behind, and you have to use that energy to investigate. You have to use that energy to fuel your logical mind to understand what is real. Now, the emotional creatures that I love very much gave me information that was incorrect, which separated me from reality. And the reality is, I missed out on a lot of good experiences, information, the most two important things in life, experiences and information, and a lot of fatherhood teachable moments, because I was bamboozled, hoodwinked, tricked, lied to by the people, not just one person, by the people that I trusted the most. And now one of the most important people that I should have trusted the most was not able to do his job. And now, because of that, I have a lot of things that are missing inside me. Pause. No pause. But the thing about it is, that's what I learned. You might feel resentful, you might feel angry, sad, mad, happy, depressed. That's temporary, bro. But the information is forever. The information is what reality is made of. The emotions, salt, pepper, but the information is the meat and the potatoes. You can't live off of salt and pepper. It's gonna make the meat and potatoes taste better. But the information is the umbrella. The emotion is the weather. If that made sense. I mean, I'm just saying whatever, man. I'm just going off the top. But Dad, I appreciate you, man. I hope you feel better. I hope you appreciate this video that I made on your behalf, because you might not be in a position to put the information out. Maybe you wanted to make a video on how to do whatever, do this, do that. And I'm rambling at this point. Kind of nervous. I have to pee just a little bit. It is what it is. It's not what it's not. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the bang, you the bang, we the bang together, man. Life's in the bread. Make sure you like this video. If you have a father, man, or if you know somebody that's about to be a father, or if you know somebody that is a father, or if you know somebody that's a mother that won't let them see their children, wink, wink, send this to them and let them know fathers are needed. Honor thy father. If they're a Christian, I don't know the Bible. You Google it. I don't know but just it's Father's Day every day, man. Just like it's Mother's Day every other day. Damn, I'm spending some good. I'm about to write that down. Hey, let's get it, man. I'm about to go in the booth today. But yeah, man. Love you, Dad. Life is in the breath. Breathe it in. Peace. Gang.